let's talk about what happens when a client won't call you back. So this happens a lot. I think with everything in our lives, we need to remember that there is a whole different life going on the other side of these books. And though it is incredibly hard for us to do our jobs when we don't get the information back, we have to also remember that those entrepreneurs, those business owners are out there doing the work. Now, that being said, there are clients that will ghost you because they think they can. And so that's when you have to decide for yourself what clientele you want to represent with your work. So the hardest part is breaking up with a client because you lose the money, the revenue is gone, but also there's really no nice way of saying you're not living up to your side of the bargain. And it needs to be said. I think there's been a lot of times where bookkeepers have said, oh yeah, like I'm actually downsizing, and then got rid of the troublemakers. And those then troublemakers were passed off to someone else and were never told that they weren't fulfilling their side of the bargain or their side of the commitment. And then the new bookkeeper is stuck having to teach that, and then they fire them, and so we're doing each other a great disservice by not being honest. So I had this conversation a few months ago with a client, and I said, look, I can do my job to the extent that you do yours. And if we can't have the same vision for the company, meaning I'm over here making sure that the financials are fantastic, but I'm not getting any communication and I'm not getting the help that I need, there's absolutely no point in your books being under my name. And that's what it comes down to. There's a point at which you need to decide if the work being produced, because you're being held up, is something you want your name on, which is, your name is currency. It's how you get referrals. And so there's been a couple of times where I've said, like, we're not on the same page here. And I've been very clear, and I hope that each one of you will be as well, very clear with your clients to say, you're not communicating with me. This is what I need from you. If we can't get this done, then we'll have to part ways. And it usually turns them around for 30 days or so, and then you have the conversation again, and you can keep playing that game, or you can stop servicing that client. And so that's something that you need to decide. You need to decide if it is very hard to turn away revenue, but it is also a complete drag on your system. It is a complete drag on your name as well. And it is very hard to look at that client and say, they're not working with me. They're not going to bring me referrals, right? They're not helping me on the other side. The referrals that I get from them, are they going to be the same? And I know that's harsh and hard to hear, and it's something I don't want to say about people, but usually the clients that don't want to pay you, that don't return your call, refer people who run their business the same way. And that is great. If you're super patient and willing to have that on your name, you can absolutely service those clients. I have found over the 25 years of working in this industry that it is never fruitful. It is never fruitful when a business owner does not value the financial side. So that being said, sometimes the hard conversations about things take a little tact, take a little time and finesse. It often takes me 3 or 4 months, sometimes upwards of 6 months, to actually offboard a client who wasn't responding the way that I needed them to. So make sure everything's documented, make sure warnings are done, make sure that you have everything documented, the times that you asked for these things. This is your second request, this is your third request. And I know it feels like you're being a little forward and maybe a little bit like harsh, but absolutely not. It is making sure that when it comes down to it and you have a client that is on it and here to work with you, and you need to offboard a client to put that person in, that you have the backing to be able to say, I've given you the chance. It's time.